Well, I read that you had quite a long time before hearing back whether you got this role or not. That must have been quite a nerve-wracking experience for you.
It was. At first, when I auditioned for the movie, I didn't even get a call back. So it's not like that was nerve-wracking because it was just like, I didn't get a call back. But then afterwards, it was still like a little lengthy process once I was back in the process and went to read and then test and then it's like a couple weeks of like anxious sort of behavior.
Because I read that your hair played a part in the delay.
Yeah.
Looks all right to me.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. Tell Wes. No, yeah. Wes told me that the reason I didn't get a call back initially was because he saw my tape and very much judged me on literally by my hair, and was like, nope, too flashy. Next, and then I think he saw like a picture of me with a buzz cut or something, and he was like, oh, that works. I don't know, it's really funny. He said that it taught him a lesson, which I think is cool.
Yeah. And I was wondering, had you read the book before, and does that help? No. Do you think that helped then not reading it? Do you think that gave you a bit more kind of license to be quite kind of creative with the role and not stick to what's on the page?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's absolutely good to read the book. I thought you meant, I mean, I didn't read the book I didn't know about the book prior to knowing about the movie or being attached to the movie. And I did start reading the book before filming. And I got about halfway and I stopped because I feel like I got the idea, and most of all the things that we were changing, a lot of it had already happened sort of, and the rest of the script was pretty accurate to the book, and I was starting to confuse things. Like I asked Wes a question one day about something and he was like, that's in the book, bro. And I was like, oh cool, we're not doing it, okay, good. And so I don't know, then I think it helps. Yeah, I think either way's fine. Going into it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I mean, I think it helps to have backstory. It can really just only help. But at the same time, you're about to go into shoot and you don't want to be that screwed up. You want to know the script inside and out and just the script because that's what we're shooting. And yeah. So.
Is it quite tough to kind of appeal, because he's such a sort of big character and the fans care so much about this character of Thomas? Yeah. You kind of got to appease them, but then at the same time you've got to put your own stamp on it and do it make your own mark on the role. Was that quite a challenge to kind of find that balance?
Yeah, I guess so. I was always really comfortable with what I was doing for it. I myself felt like I was right in that role and I fit the role, and I felt like how I was bringing it to life would does the character justice from the book, even though it's not entirely the same, I guess. But I've just always been really comfortable with what I was going to bring to it, just because the support of the fans has always, from day one, has been just nothing but positive. So that kind of gives you a little confidence, they accept you as their Thomas or as their Gally, as their Newt. They kind of showed a lot of love for the cast all around, and it kind of just allows you to go in there and do your thing and make it different and bring it to life and make it what it's going to be now in the film version, and that's just cool. It's not challenging. I don't know. It is. Acting in general is challenging. That's a whole other thing to get into. But yeah.
Because I read that you had a sort of anxiety dream the kind of night before you started shooting.
Oh yeah, the snake.
Yeah, but do you think that actually kind of helped your character? Do you think that kind of going in with that kind of trepidation might have kind of helped inform the role at hand? Yeah,
no, it totally worked, because on that day, we were shooting a scene where it was still early on in the film, when my character's just, come into this world. It's really, he's only been there a day. So that absolutely works. I was scared to be down in the dirt and in the mud. In the woods. It was the wrestling scene, when Ben attacks Thomas in the woods, and yeah, I mean, I think once we got to shooting it though, I had forgotten about it, but I was in the right mindset of being terrified going into the day, so that's good. It's always good.
Just very quickly, are you hopeful of continuing this franchise on?
Yeah, absolutely. Every one of us are. It's something that means a lot to all of us, that we all genuinely believe is a great story, and we want it to, it's not complete after the first film, and you know, we would love to get together and do it again and make both movies, or the second and third movie for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, well,
Please God.
well, hopefully we'll be back here in about a year's time then.
Thanks, man.
Cheers. Thanks
Good
so
to see
much.
you again.